so much for the follow as well. We hope you guys have been enjoying the stream. Welcome to Grand Finals. We got Luigi going up against Ike. I was going to say, beforehand, back in winners quarterfinals, Keanu 2-0'd Panther to stay in the winners bracket over Panther. That was when he played Fox, I believe, both games against Keanu. And I don't blame him for not wanting to do that now. Having a sword against a Mario brother is already a really good thing on its own. That in itself is already good. You know, they notably don't do very good with disjoints, especially, you know, Luigi, since his airspeed is not that good. They both play very different games against them, if you would. But Luigi specifically has always done pretty good against the space animals. I mean, back in the last game, he used to be able to gimp Fox like it's nothing. In this game, it's not the same, but he still does have those wacky zero-to-deaths and whatnot, them being fast fallers. He's still got crazy combos on them. This time, on the other hand, and this is really interesting, the fact that, like, you know, as that back air does take the stock, I don't know if it's just a confidence thing on the part of Panther or something like that, but I gotta say, Ubel, I'm a little surprised that he didn't elect to use Ike against Keanu before. This matchup in particular, believe it or not, is actually not that good, because not even just the range is a factor against Luigi. Ike creates all these crazy 50-50 situations against Luigi specifically, especially when he's at the ledge, because Luigi's airspeed is just bad enough to the point where Ike has a little bit more coverage in moves like his up air and his back air. It's a very interesting thing to see, you know, like he sort of provides that sort of traditional coverage like other Fire Emblem characters would that Ike normally doesn't in a lot of other matchups against Luigi specifically. Now, it's not always the same as it used to be, but I still think it's not too easy for Luigi. But then again, I'm a Luigi hater, so
it's
whatever.
I'll always maintain the opinion that Luigi has the greatest X factor in this game, period. Like, greater than Arsene, greater than Aura, greater than Go.
I don't know if I agree with that stuff, but I get what you're saying. That's just a matter of one man's opinion. Go on.
Yeah, it's hard to deny the idea. While Keanu hasn't been showing that he's willing to go for the full zero to death, just the fact that you can die off, like, at any stock can disappear by getting at most 3 grabs is really polarizing. So while Ike definitely has an advantage in this matchup, and Ike can play this super soft game where you're just going to be approaching with nairs and be safe on parry, dash back with F tilts, and just really use your distance to all of its advantage. You always have that in the back of your mind where, like, man, if I get grabbed, I'm dead. At almost any percent.
But save this jump, though, is Keanu right there. Very smart stuff. Yeah, no, I agree that there is always that X factor where he can just grab you and you're dead, but that's something that Luigi has to, like, work for. You know, something like Joker with Arsene, that's just something he gets for losing. You know, like, that's something that he really gets just, like, for losing the match, if you would. And then he literally has, like, some of the best moves in the game because of it, and, like, some of the best edge guarding. And the characters that situation frame traps you in as well. I mean, Luigi, I feel like, yeah, he's got that X factor in the grabs, but he has so many other flaws as a character that sort of don't hold him back completely necessarily, but do negate that, if you would, which is why I definitely disagree on Luigi having the best X factor. I don't think that's true at all. But, oh, what in the... He did it again! That's the second time we've seen him do that tonight. Where he just drop ledge, side Bs into the stage, and then just immediately double jump down.
I feel like that might be PS2 specific tech, but I don't know for sure. Or maybe, like, you really need the slants on that stage, so it wouldn't work on a stage like Kalos, but it would work on, like, Smashville and Town City and PS2 and stuff. Uncertain, but we see why Ike is really good in this matchup, and it reminds me of a prior grand final. So I believe it was at another Fusion or perhaps a DNA, where it was a Z- against, I don't remember the Ike's name. And Z-, very, like, a prolific Luigi, at least in the Wi-Fi era. Like, a very, very consistently threatening player, getting these top 8s, top 3s, top 1s even.
Top 1.
And he's, like, the Ike main was able to overcome that overcome D-Minus's repertoire and his much more aggressive style of play where he's looking for these grabs all the time by just committing to this game plan of I'm going to full hop in there. Even if you parry it, I'm not worried. And then that's gonna make you jump. It's gonna make you move. And when you jump, I'll catch your jumps and your landings with dash attack. And I'll mix in some grabs and I'll mix in some forward airs. But I'm gonna use that 2-button game plan to its full effectiveness.
Oh yeah.
To the point where he said it himself. He was like, man, like other Ike players play Ike, but in this matchup, I play Nair.
Amen to that, my friends. He's part of the character. Remember at the beginning when people were calling him Nair the character and whatnot, and you know he is.
To an extent, yeah.
We can't deny that. To an extent, yeah. Nothing like Fox or whatever, or, you know, other types of character like Palutena, I guess. But sort of those are both sort of stereotypes in their own regard as well. And I gotta say, a little surprised at Keanu for sticking with this matchup. I mean, not too surprised. Not too surprised considering that even if he loses this set, he's got another one to be able to counterpick with, I suppose, as that falling there to the up air will take the stock. Only 7.5% on, oh my god, on Panther right now. I don't know why the name was blanking on me for a second. I feel like DK could probably do some work here too, but I mean, he's got faith in the Luigi, but I don't know if he should because the Luigi is literally already dead. No, he's fine. He still had the jump. I thought he didn't have his jump for a second.
It's Panther has been looking for
to that point for me.
Right. Panther's been looking for 2-frames mostly with these down airs, and like if you're gonna 2-frame, I would think he'd want to go for eruption, but. I mean, to each their own. He's been dominating this stage for the entire game. Like it's been what felt like 45 seconds since Keanu's boots hit the ground. So it's been working.
Yeah, Small Battlefield is a really interesting counter pick on the part of Keanu because I guess maybe he thought on a stage like this he'd be able to just sort of outframe Data Ike and just rush him down a little bit better, you know, get into that advantageous state and then just not let him play the game by not just giving him anywhere to run. But I feel like all it's really doing is sort of just creating a lot of situations where Panther is able to just cover multiple options because of the lack of space, if you would. I think the platforms are helping him out with that as well, with sort of catching some of Keanu's linear landings, if you would. Horizontally, it's bad because his sword can cover, you know, like the high ground and the low ground, especially with moves like forward air and whatnot, and just neutral air, really. He's doing a really good job fishing for that because what is he going to do? He can land in the bowl in the center with a neutral air. If that doesn't work, you know, like just retreat back to one of the platforms. Regain stage control, rinse, repeat. It's working out pretty good for Panther so far.
It's a fundamental game plan, and you don't need to do too much. Like as you mentioned, despite my previous opinions and reservations, like Luigi's fundamental flaws, him being super slow, is that'll take it. Like you don't need to circumvent. Like he can get all of the grab conversions that he wants, but if you never get grabbed, then it doesn't matter. And I can play the game where you just never grab him. You never have the chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like power combined with mobility at this front. Ike's not, you know, he's still slow, but he's not like, you know, nearly as slow as he used to be. I mean, he's got enough mobility in this game to not have to necessarily fall for the whole, you know, bread and butter Luigi grab gimmick, if you would. Right. Now he's got a little bit more distance on that front. He's not a distance demon.
No.
Not anymore, really, especially with the distance demons that got added to this game. You know, we literally have characters that stretch all the way across the damn level now.
Yeah, 2-frame you from center stage.
Oh, yeah. Sephiroth as well, all that good stuff. Yeah. So, but it's still enough to keep a character like Luigi at bay, if you would. Like, he really negates that whole game by being able to just beat Luigi to the punch in the, what am I trying to say? In the mid-range, if you would. If your character can't beat Luigi to the punch in the mid-range, that is when you sort of have to start camping him a little bit to sort of create your openings and just be a little bit safer, especially if you're at 0% where he can get the 0 to death. But if you have a big sword, and you have enough power in that big sword as well, which isn't even necessarily a factor that you need to be able to counter Luigi, you can fight him in that mid-range with that sword with a disjoint, you're good to go. You're chilling a lot more. You don't have to sweat as hard, if you would. I'm not saying you don't have to try as hard, but you don't have to be as nervous. You don't have to be as scared of Luigi. You don't have to have that same fear factor that you have against him like so many other characters in this game have, you feel? When you don't have to be close.
It's like, it's part of what makes Ike, it's so good in this game and why his kit really comes together in this Ultimate engine. Because not only did they speed up things like Nair and like give him more follow-ups on things like dash attack, that new up air, which is like an up smash in the air basically, is thank you Ico SB for the follow. Like, we get to really understand like what makes Ike good in this game is because like the Ultimate engine works for him and the Ultimate design philosophy works for his kit. Nair being as safe as it is, his sword being as safe as it is, and having good falling aerials like every character has, but combine that with the range and the power he always had, like it's Ike's time. Like the stars have aligned for him.
The stars have aligned, as they say. His astrological sign, all in part. I don't know what month he was born in. I'm not a big Fire Emblem fan.
Me either.
I'm a big Fire Emblem player, but whatever it is, it's that month. His stars are aligning.
Oh, he's dead though.
Yeah, there you go. That's no good.
No, not if you're Panther looking to keep your momentum steady and head right into the second set. Which if this is going to go to a second set and not end in a reverse 3-0, then you know he's still got 3 more games after this. What is seeming this game is going to end just like that.
Wow, the perfect spacing. Not even the spacing, the perfect positioning, I should say, for that forward smash. That is, wow. That is not something that you normally see players contest. You usually see them try to put out like a projectile or maybe an aerial or something like that. No. My man's out here just perfectly spacing the forward smash. That was the right thing to do, actually. He knew that move was going to be able to beat it out, and that it would have been not only safer, but more powerful than just jumping up and potentially getting hit by that move in the air. That was pretty smart, and also just very skillful. That looked hard. I'm not going to lie. To time that properly and get a forward smash punish, woo.
And I mean, like, doing that, covering that option, like, there's a couple things that can happen. One is that Ike the hitbox comes out before yours. You take the quick draw slash. What's it like? 15%, 12%, and neutral is reset. Whatever, you're at 30 and a stock up. He goes to ledge. Okay, you can potentially set up a ledge trap, or you know, neutral is reset. Whatever, that's fine. You're still in a heavy advantage. Or you trade or flat out beat it like he did, kill him, and go right into game 4. So there is almost no reason not to do that. And the perfect timing that he did, catching him while he was still midair, but before the hitbox reached him, is just icing on the cake.
It's all about those stocks. It's all about that percent, my friends. And right there, the situation was tipped in the tide of Keanu, and so he knew the risk-reward was in its favor, as my good friend Ubel has just explained to you all. Smash Basics 101.
Fundamentals.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. First one of the... Oh, no, he missed his D up air. Yeah, he knew he was going for it, but he just didn't get that little final piece of the puzzle that he needed.
It's interesting to consider that going for the 0 to death and potentially missing it, as it happened to be with either good SDI or just missing the falling up air being too late, it does less damage overall than a full Luigi combo if you were to converted that into more up airs and ending it with a back air. Because that would have done, what, like 80 or 90, while the combo ended at 46.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a potential like risk reward there, or like I guess rich and you know, you can mess this up more easily, but it could potentially end in death. Like there's there's at the very least a choice to be made there.
Yeah, like I get what you're saying. There's definitely a very slight risk reward, as in Luigi could get less damage as that up smash takes the stock. He could get less damage off of a messed up 0 to death. But at the same time, you know, I feel like that risk reward is still in his favor because while it is less damage, he still does get really good damage with it regardless. It's just what does Luigi want? Because this is the up air takes the stock from Ike. Is this the kind of Luigi who wants to just, you know, like go for those 0 to deaths, you know, get these cheeky stocks if you would, and just be this quote unquote optimal Luigi that they should be? Or is it going to be the kind of Luigi who's just going to go for that consistent damage every time? And right there, it seems like Keanu can do a little bit of both as he goes for the 0 to death again and misses it, but doesn't even have to, saying, I'll finish the 0 to death off of a perfectly timed up B off of your side B. Holy God. I gotta say, Ubel, you know, he's not landing these 0 to deaths, but he's like landing these crazy punishes in places where I have not seen very many players punish Ike around these parts.
Yeah,
so,
oh, go ahead.
No, I was done, actually.
Well, it just seems like Keanu is much more adept at using Luigi's tools as a more traditional, like, fundamental means of punishing,
Exactly.
rather than a player like we see Z- a lot, where he's just so adept at reading SDI and understanding Luigi's combo tree that no matter what percent he seems to grab you, you die at the end.
The down throw down B is going to do it.
And that's when he went straight up, and what you would consider originally is that's bad DI. However, when Luigi places himself right on top of you, like if the two models in the case of Luigi and Ike are just like overlapping, not only is it super hard to see where you need to DI, and it's almost like a coin flip, there's a chance it just sends you straight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a little bit of awareness.
Yeah, a little bit on that side you're on, like a little similar to Rob's up air in that regard, but also not really similar because it's not the same thing. But yeah, pretty much good, like fundamentally sound Luigi, you know, in terms of how he's actually like playing the fighting game rather than just going for like the whole gimmick, if you would. Because like I said, he's not even landing these 0 to deaths, but every time that he decides to, you know, not just be the gimmick Luigi and go for the 0 to deaths and try to be the more consistent one with the combos as well, Keanu's still landing those. He's still got the basic Luigi bread and butters down. We saw that 0 to 90 he got a few sets ago back in winter semis and whatnot. He's got these reverse up airs down and whatnot. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's something that he at least has down in the back burner in case he needs it, if you would. So, but it's not the same as Z-, who has that sort of fundamental understanding of the combo tree. He's got like the Luigi auto combos down, if you would. He's got those on the back of his mind. And now, what is this? We got the wolf coming out from
Panther.
Not Keanu. I don't know why I thought Keanu. I'm dumb. I'm not seeing straight.
This was the other character that I thought he would pull out, because like the Fox he's been playing against a couple Z- in the past couple of weeklies. He'd been going Fox, and it had been kind of not really. But in this case, the Wolf with his Wolf's powerful neutral, like he's able to keep you out, but then still like really bully Luigi when he gets close. I could see that being a common choice, while you are putting yourself at much more definite risk, since Wolf is a much more close range character. As wow, that Waveland was a really, really good option.
Yeah. Oh my God. I thought he was going to get that down air there. Yeah, this matchup, you can even say from experience as well, it can be a little annoying. It's like, Wolf has a transcendent, you know, projectile that does like 10%. We all know what it is. It's a laser. It's very annoying. It's very good. It's okay. It's decent, I suppose. Maybe at best. It's alright, maybe. But it's very annoying for a character like there. For that particular reason that you just saw. Luigi has no options to deal with the laser in neutral besides just shielding. It's literally all he can do if he wants to stay on the ground to do it. His only other option is to jump over it. And Luigi, like I mentioned earlier, he's got the second worst airspeed in this game, so he jumps up there with his full hop to get around the laser. He can be putting himself in a bad spot by doing that, actually, because Wolf can just pot shot the laser, and once Luigi jumps over it, depending on how close or how far he is, he can just rush back in and hit him for it, or at the very least keep him up in the air regarding. Either way, if Wolf runs to the other side of the stage, or even if he's at like a mid-range and he puts out that laser, it doesn't matter if Luigi avoids the laser or not. There's no situation where Luigi is going to punish Wolf's laser. There's just none. He's not quick enough to get to it and beat him to the punch. It's as simple as that.
And he doesn't have a tool like Mario's cape to counteract that idea. Even if Wolf has a reflector of his own, it's at very least a different option. But being stuck in shield or being put in the air, like, both are the antithesis to what Luigi wants to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's...
He doesn't have the mobility. He doesn't have the mobility either to be able to keep up with it. All Wolf has to do against Luigi, if he just doesn't feel like fighting him for a little bit, is run back, pot shot that laser a couple times. Guess what? Luigi's not punishing. I mean, not that you're going to be able to have an easy time punishing Wolf's laser regardless of what character you play, but Luigi specifically, these are his choices. He has to shield and then just try to wait for his opportunity to run in, maybe dash attack. There you go. Plunger's not going to beat it out either.
Okay. Just kick. Go, Luigi. Use your Luigi kick.
I have never seen Luigi's forward tilt kill. That's amazing.
Simple
poke.
Oh,
that's so cursed, dude.
No jump.
That's like getting a grab with Luigi when your opponent is at like 190% or something and you just up throw to kill. It's like the most cursed thing in the world. It's like, it's Luigi's up throw. You're not supposed to see it. It might as well not even exist, if we're being completely honest. But he did it anyway, because he knew it would work. That's wild, man. Well, 2-0 to Deaths could easily win Keanu this tournament right now, and I think that's exactly what he's going for.
Oh, but fast fall plus a little bit of rage made him good DI, a fast faller, and a little bit of rage can just screw up your combos.
Yeah, I don't know if he was holding down right there to make sure he was able to get towards the ground faster, but he seemed to actually air dodge out of that situation, so I'm not sure if he was holding down.
He's definitely holding at the very least away.
Yeah.
That's all he needed.
Mayhaps down in a way, as the kids say.
Perhaps. Mayhap.
Mayhap.
Just one.
Ooh, good interception on the forward air right there. But not able to keep him off stage because he had no follow-up afterwards.
This is where Wolf can be so scary. Not only does Luigi have like a pretty mediocre, not even mediocre, a bad airspeed, and he's stuck in the corner, and Wolf can just do all of his jumping shenanigans, really outpacing Luigi in that instance.
Oh no. Oh no.
So this game's even.
Oh no. No, 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 no. Okay, we're good, we're good. Second set, alright.
Crisis avoided.
Crisis averted, bro. Oh, woo! Well, that was terrifying.
Yeah, it was a little scary. Now keep in mind that it's one of those things that has made... Is one, like... Okay, so New Jersey has a lot of Luigi players. You got... I don't know where Keanu is from, but you have like guys like Z-, you have guys like Ziglet, Badges, Keanu potentially, like, and even in the Wi-Fi era, there's Kiriyarsh, Echo Sean, is for New Jersey Luigi. Like, there's a lot of Luigi players, and all of them kind of head down one or two different, the main fork in the road, the branching paths the way I see it. And guys like Kiriyarsh and guys like Z-, they really take the idea of Luigi has an incredibly broken grab, an incredibly broken Zair, and we can just kill anybody off of one interaction, maybe two or three. Why don't we just tunnel in on that? And why don't we just focus entirely on that, and on his combo tree, and on his kill potential? And like, yeah, it's broken, but it's the character. So why wouldn't we use what's broken?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Keanu and Elegant and like Ziglet, they kind of take a different route. It's like, okay, people know that Luigi's gonna look for grab. That's part of the... It's just part of the character. So what if we try and optimize everything else about Luigi that's good? What if we look for up tilt strings? Or what do we get off of a random fair? Or a random up air? What do we get off of those? What do we get off of our ledge trapping? And still use there and still look for grabs because they're good. But it's a fundamental difference that can be faced with difficulty with characters like Wolf. Because Wolf plays an extremely powerful neutral, and Panther is shown to be able to use that neutral incredibly effectively. So you're trying to out-neutral Wolf as Luigi, when one of the biggest weaknesses of the character is that he's a fast faller, and he's pretty easy to combo. And that... like, your playstyle can really warp a matchup in that sense. Even if it is just as simple as an idea of, do they grab more, or do they not grab more?
Yeah. It all depends on, like, how you want to play, like, you play the character and play Luigi. Because you can be that guy who just goes for 0 to death to 0 to death to 0 to death, but, you know, like, you don't know your percents, that doesn't really matter. Or you can go for consistent damage and try to play more neutral against Wolf, which can spell a hard time. It's interesting. Like, right there, like, he got to grab it literally exactly at... Oh!
Yikes.
Never mind. I was going to say that he got a grab at 0, and he didn't go for the traditional 0 to death because he knew it wasn't going to work. Didn't have enough rage or anything like that. Wolf is a fast faller, so he was at that very low percent where he'd just be able to get out of it. And therefore, he had a little bit of patience instead and decided to go for some of the not true stuff and extend the combo. And fun fact, I mean, this is a big tip for Mario, and I know we've been comparing like Luigi to Mario a lot in like these sets.
As is reasonable. I mean,
yeah, it's reasonable. I mean, he's not like a clone of Mario. He's like really more so like a very distant demi-clone at this point, and that's a 3-stock on the part of Keanu. Oh my god, looking pretty good in the second set already.
I mean, I respect the idea that you hit that tech and you're in perfect position, but, you know, you missed the tech and you die.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like that 0 to death that we saw on that second stock, which makes me really wish we had replays on this stream. That was brutal because, like, when you're playing a character that has like a very big, long, stringy combo game, especially one like Mario or Luigi, like a Mario brother in general, it's less true with Luigi than it is with Mario, but it can be true with Luigi, like you saw before. One golden rule is to not always go for the true stuff. Don't always go for the true stuff, because if you don't always do that, you might find some situations where if you read a 50-50 correctly, or if you trap your opponent into doing like something they don't want to do, like air dodging away or something, if you frame trap them into a situation where you can get a re-grab or another follow-up attack or something, you might find that you'll be able to get an even stronger punish just by waiting a couple seconds in between combos rather than only going for the true stuff. It's something that so many lower level players do. They only go for the true stuff because, you know, it's easier and they feel like it's the best way to get their damage. But that's not... The higher level you go, you'll be able to create some more scenarios for yourself otherwise. Like Mario, you want to just up air, up air, up air, up air, and, you know, you want to finish it with an uppie. It's not always the case. Sometimes you just want to fast fall before the uppie comes out, and you want to see if your opponent, like, will mash out of it, or if they'll air dodge out of it, whatever their habit will be out of it. And then if you read it properly, guess what? You get more up airs, and then you can roof them. Like, it's just a little bit of patience can go a long way in this game. And Keanu just proved that to us all right now by not going for the always completely true Luigi stuff, by going for these forward air to nair strings like you at 0%, like you saw before, like you saw him just do now. And as a result, that's how he was able to get that crazy 0 to death off of the platform. Patience, kid. It's a virtue.
To put it in another sense, why do you think Game 4 Leo is so good?
Specifically Game 4 Leo.
Yeah. Because Game 1 and 2 and 3, like, while he is winning one of them, he's storing a lot of data, and he's figuring out what his opponent is gonna do when he gets the hit, and how to find those hits, rather than just, like, when I get the hit, I go for this true combo.
Yeah, it's like the combo, like, you don't blow up. It goes straight to your thighs. And then you blow up. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. And I love the Leo analogy that you put right there. It's like, yeah, he's just downloading. Like, yeah, he won one of those games because he's Leo and he's godlike and he probably mashed on you. But yeah, like at the Game 4 is when he really knows like what habits you're going to do out of what. Even at the higher level, even at the top level, it's such a basic fundamental thing of Smash, especially the newer Smash games, I feel, to see specifically what options your opponent is going to pick out of not true situations, out of not true combos. Are they going to air dodge? Are they going to mash a nair? Do they have a frame 3 nair? Are they going to do that? Like, or do they not have the best of frame data, so they're probably going to air dodge here? Or do they know that they don't have the best of frame data, so they know that I think I'm going to air dodge, so they're going to do the exact opposite of air dodging, which is how I know they're not going to do it. And then that's where mind games come into the picture, and so on and so forth.
We have established the best thing about fighting games: rock, paper, scissors.
Platform fighters.
So I hope you keep this in mind when you're watching either sets or this game, and you can really start to figure out, like, oh, like, Panther has done a couple things out of these combos when he's experienced them before, but will he air dodge this time, and to which direction? And like, how does Keanu react to those situations? All of this comes together to create depth, which is something that Ultimate has been criticized of not having that much.
Yeah.
Which
Or you
just
can just mash. Or you can just mash again
Or you
in
can
your
just-
by tournament and then just get bodied by like a Ken player or something and get mad. It's your choice. It's your prerogative.
Yeah.
Or you can heed these words from Nintunist and Ubel.
Yeah. We kind of, to some extent, know what we're talking about.
I mean, we're talking about like we're talking about the people who are in grand finals right now who are
We're up smashing those landings.
exactly like we're talking about the people who are in grand finals right now who are doing exactly what we're talking about, who are the reason that we're talking about it. And look at that, they're in grands. There you go.
It all comes full circle.
It all comes full circle.
That was game 2, right?
Yeah, that was game 2.
Yeah.
Keanu only needs one more to be able to get that clean sweep.
Yeah, he really seemed to turn on the Jets game 3. Yeah, game 3 of the grand finals. Despite dropping a game to the Wolf originally, it's been all Keanu from games 3, 4, and now the first 2 games of this grand final reset, true finals, as it is now referred to as. Thank you, Devin. And here comes the Fox, 3rd character attempt.
No, isn't the Fox what Keanu kind of did the best against?
Yeah, Keanu 2-0'd this Fox earlier.
Yeah. 2-0 in winners quarters, like you said. Oh my god, get destroyed. Just duck.
So, like, the thing about Fox in this matchup, right?
I miss directing Foxes. Go on.
Is, like, he's a character that is so focused on, like, swarming and punishing. And when you have characters that just have all-purpose DPs, like Marcina with Dolphin Slash, or Luigi with his Cyclone, ZSS with her jab and or flip jump, like, these things can really put a plug on Fox's momentum. But at the same time, he's so fast that he doesn't need to really hold forward all the time. He can press away and wait and see what all the defensive options that Keanu is going to do and call them out in turn. That's a very reaction-based playstyle, which can be kind of troublesome on Wi-Fi.
That it can. God, it's gonna be so weird, like playing offline or going to like offline events and like, because I don't play the game too much anymore, but I'm sure I'll enter somewhat like offline tournaments when the locals come back. It's gonna be so weird, like playing the game offline, like in a tournament setting, after like being so used to this. But either way, this matchup, I mean, I know I said I missed like the Drano before back, like that Luigi had back in Smash 4. Actually, really smart down B right there, like catching Fox, jumping into it. He positioned that deliberately above the platform to try to like catch on to Panther's pressure because he knew that he was gonna jump there. That was ballsy and kind of stupid and really scary and incredibly smart all at the same time.
Oh, I was gonna call it very unfortunate because I thought Panther had recognized, like, oh, that's Luigi Cyclone past the first frame. I can punish that, and he got caught by the hitbox instead of punishing it with an up air. Good tech.
I was gonna say, like, oh my god, it doesn't even matter. He doesn't even need the Roto-Rooter. I was gonna say, like, I was like sort of half joking, but also half serious about missing the Drano that Luigi. Oh god. That's not how you want a tournament to end. And he got the frame where Luigi's smiling off of the jab too. That was just rude. That's a 3-0 on the part of Keanu to win this tournament, to win Fusion.exe number 56.